The third episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was just released on Disney+, so let's get right into it. Sam and Bucky enlist the help of Zemo as they inch closer to their goal of getting to the Flag Smashers. If you saw my review of the first two episodes of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you know that it was a combined review, but this will be just a single episode review, and this episode is titled The Power Broker. Getting right into the bulk of it, this is the first episode where we see the return of Zemo, who we last saw in Captain America Civil War almost 5 years ago now. And unlike in Captain America Civil War, I actually really like Daniel Bruhl's portrayal of Zemo in this episode. He certainly showed more charisma, and as for the character himself, he's a wild card. I have no idea where they're taking this character. Will he remain on the same side as the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or will he turn against them? Nevertheless, he did some pretty questionable things in this episode that made me raise a ton of questions about him. Oh, and I love the mask that he sported in this episode. I hope he wears that a lot more often because it was really cool. So once this episode really picks up after we see the escape of Zemo from prison, we head to Madripoor, a new city that's located on some island near Singapore. What makes me really excited about the inclusion of Madripoor is that it's closely related to the X-Men. It's not as related to the MCU as many probably thought during the episode, and that gets me stoked for what's to come with the X-Men later in the MCU. Hopefully we see more of them very, very soon. And the entire time that they're in Madripoor, the sequence itself reminded me so much of the John Wick franchise. And this absolutely 100% is due to somebody from the John Wick franchise being involved in the writing of episode 3's script. So not only do we have elements from the John Wick franchise in this episode, like how at one point Bucky and Sam had a huge hit placed on them, but the cinematography as well looks really similar to the John Wick movies, and the action is far more brutal in this episode in comparison to the first two. For the MCU, this action is pushing it a little bit too much. You would think that the action is closer to R-rated action than it is to PG-13 action. So Zemo and those John Wick elements are what made this episode stand out to me the most, but I didn't like this episode as much as still my favorite episode in the series so far, the first episode, because the plot here begins to get a little bit more convoluted. We see the return of Sharon Carter, a character who we have not seen in almost 5 years, same as Zemo, since Captain America Civil War, a character that I completely forgot about, and a character that I simply don't care about either. It's somebody that I forgot even existed, and when she showed up on the screen, I actually had to search her name again because I could not remember who this character was. And after watching the episode and revisiting clips from Captain America Civil War, I still can't remember who this character is. I don't remember her kissing Captain America. When the heck did that happen? And that's really weird. We also get the chance to see a little more of the Flag Smashers and Carly Morgenthau in this episode. I'm beginning to think that Carly might be the show's anti-hero. She may come off as a villain early on, but by the 5th and 6th episodes, I think we're going to see a change of character in her. But until we get more information about the Flag Smashers and what their end goal is, I'm not going to care about anybody involved with the Flag Smashers. There's just not nearly enough information there for me to actually care about them yet. I think my biggest problem with the series so far in episode 3 is where I began to notice this, is that they have been rushing through the show extremely quickly, and for it to be only 6 episodes, it makes sense why you would have to go through the entire thing as quickly as possible. But still, I wish that they could have at least slowed down the pacing of the show a little bit more, maybe made the episodes closer to an hour long, because some of this information flows so quickly that I can't keep up with every single plot detail. Overall, I would not have minded if the series was around 8 episodes long, but it is only 6 episodes, so they had to get through the entire show rather quickly. It just feels like it's one huge plot dump on the audience. The final big thing from this episode left with another cliffhanger. We see Io from the Black Panther movies, and many are speculating that she's back to get revenge on Zemo, who had a hand in the killing of T'Challa's father. So out of the first 3 episodes, I still like the first one the best. I think the third episode has the most plot details dropped on the audience, so therefore it is a more confusing episode. I found it more difficult to follow than the first 2 episodes. I still had a lot of fun with episode 3 though, and I'm looking forward to seeing where episodes 4, 5, and 6 take the series next. Alright guys, so if you also happen to see The Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3, The Power Broker, be sure to let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. I still have to do my review of Godzilla vs. Kong, a movie that I am highly anticipating. I just have not seen it yet, only because I am waiting to see it in theaters, and since I've had COVID for the last week, I have not been able to leave my house really, so I'm gonna go watch it in theaters one of the next 2 days and review it for you guys. As always, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.